History is often described as our greatest teacher. Yet one of its greatest frustrations is that its lessons are usually recognized only after the consequences have already unfolded. Every generation believes it is wiser than the one before it. We celebrate our technological advances, our scientific discoveries, and our expanding knowledge. We convince ourselves that because we have more information, we are less likely to repeat the mistakes of the past. And yet history continues to surprise us. Not because history repeats itself exactly, but because human nature remains remarkably consistent. People still become overconfident. People still underestimate risk. People still dismiss uncomfortable questions. And people still believe that serious problems happen somewhere else to someone else at another time. One of the most common phrases throughout history has been, "That could never happen here." Those words have echoed through civilizations, governments, financial systems, and institutions across generations. Sometimes they were right. Sometimes they were tragically wrong. The challenge is that we rarely know which is which while we are living through the moment. Warnings are rarely dramatic when they first appear. They usually arrive as small concerns, a changing trend, an unexpected event, a disagreement that grows a little deeper each year, a problem that seems manageable because its consequences are still far away. Because each warning appears relatively small, many people assume it will resolve itself. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. That is why thoughtful discussion matters. Examining evidence is not an act of fear. Asking difficult questions is not an act of pessimism. Responsible societies become stronger when people are willing to examine uncomfortable possibilities before circumstances force difficult decisions upon them. History also teaches another important lesson. Not every warning deserves panic. Some predictions never come true. Some fears are exaggerated. Some concerns disappear entirely. Wisdom requires balancing healthy skepticism with genuine curiosity. Ignoring every warning is just as unwise as believing every prediction. Perhaps the greatest challenge is learning to distinguish between temporary noise and meaningful signals. That requires patience, it requires evidence, it requires humility, and it requires the willingness to reconsider our conclusions whenever new information becomes available. The future has never belonged to those who claimed certainty. It has often belonged to those who remained willing to learn. Every generation leaves behind lessons for the next. Some are lessons of courage. Some are lessons of innovation. Some are lessons of failure. The responsibility of the next generation is not to repeat history word for word. It is to understand why those lessons existed in the first place. Perhaps the warnings we chose to ignore were never hidden from us. Perhaps they were simply easier to dismiss than to confront. History does not ask us to live in fear. It asks us to remain aware, to stay curious, to ask honest questions, and to remember that tomorrow is shaped by the choices we make today. The greatest warning history offers may not be about any single event. It may be reminding us that every generation believes it has finally escaped the mistakes of the past. History suggests otherwise.